This is Mac OS Ken.
A minus and a plus on iPhone, a prediction and a hurdle for iPhone manufacturing, and a fine that might actually be fine with Apple. It is Tuesday, the 20th of December, 2022. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by SimpliSafe. Get a free indoor security camera plus 20% off your order with interactive monitoring at simplysafe.com/macosken. This show is also sponsored by Rocket Money. Are you wasting money on subscriptions? I don't mean are you spending money on stuff you don't need. I mean, are you paying for subscriptions you don't even use? 80% of people have subscriptions that they have forgotten about. Maybe it's an unused Amazon Prime account. Maybe it's a streaming service you've stopped watching. There is all kinds of stuff to which we subscribe. If you're worried that you're paying for stuff that you're not using anymore, there is an app to stop that. Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. The Rocket Money app shows you all of your subscriptions in one place. If you see some you don't recognize or totally forgot about, Rocket Money can take care of them. To cancel a subscription, all you have to do is hit cancel, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. Get rid of useless subscriptions with Rocket Money now. Go to rocketmoney.com/MOK. Seriously, it could save you hundreds per year. That's rocketmoney.com/MOK. Cancel your unnecessary subscriptions right now at rocketmoney.com/MOK. A bit of a whoops on Apple 3.0. The site had Evercore analyst Chatterjee cutting his price target on Apple shares on Monday. The thing is, the analyst following Apple for Evercore is Amit Daryanani. Chatterjee is the analyst following Apple for JP Morgan. Based on the final price target, I'm thinking Apple 3.0 got the analyst right, but named the wrong firm. Let's go with that. Basically, the analyst has felt the need to cut his iPhone estimations again, though not as much last time, according to the analyst. Quoting his note, while the rapid extension of lead times for iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max has slowed down and in fact began to moderate in recent weeks, it still remains elevated relative to the lead time seen prior to the COVID outbreak in Zhengzhou, as we continue to see the supply shortfall continuing through year-end and impacting the typical seasonal uptick in iPhone volumes seen in the December quarter. While he does not expect every missed sale for the December quarter to be made up in March, some of the sales will be. The analyst says that is thanks to supply constraints easing and the historical precedent for Apple consumers to wait through a delay. The analyst maintains an overweight rating on Apple shares. He's cut his price target on the shares from $200 to $190, which is why I assume it was the firm that got messed up in the post, not the analyst. Evercore analyst Amit Daryanani already had his Apple target at $190. Chatterjee's not the only one noting moderation of lead times for iPhone 14 Pro. A piece from MacRumors says waits for the phones are getting shorter, though would-be buyers are likely still missing Christmas. The site had been tracking wait times of 3 to 4 weeks for iPhone 14 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro Max. Now the piece says specific builds of both the Pro and Pro Max are estimated to begin shipping in just 1 to 2 weeks. The Stating the Blanking Obvious Award goes to Wedbush analyst Daniel Ives today. Apple 3.0 had the analyst posting his list of tech predictions for 2023, only 2 of which were tied directly to Apple. The less obvious of the 2, he says Apple's augmented reality play, Apple Glasses, will be released in the summer of 2023. One wonders whether he means the mixed reality headset most are expecting, or does he actually think Apple can leapfrog that and go straight to glasses one might wear walking down the street? The latter seems unlikely. As for stating the blanking obvious, number 5 on his list of predictions, Apple starts moving iPhone production out of China, with the nightmare scene this Christmas around the China zero COVID lockdowns and the Foxconn situation. The time has finally come for Apple to diversify iPhone production out of China and build out a bigger manufacturing presence in India and or Vietnam for 2023 and beyond. I like and appreciate Daniel Ive's work, but if every weatherman in town spent a week and a half calling for rain on a certain day, then you say, I think it's going to rain on this day, I don't think you get to call that a prediction. I think you have to call that stating the blanking obvious. Mr. Ives has a buy rating on Apple shares. His price target on the shares is $200. What might stand in the way of expanded iPhone production in India? Local politics and farmland. 9to5Mac highlights a Bloomberg report saying rivalry between local and national government and the stance of small-scale landowners may stop planned manufacturing expansion. The piece explains that India has 3 levels of government: national, state, and local. According to 9to5Mac, while the national government is fully in favor of growing its manufacturing economy, local government is often more concerned with protection of existing land use and frequently opposes new developments. In particular, local government typically works to protect small-scale landowners like farmers from compulsory purchase orders by the national government. According to the Bloomberg report, small landowners may not be interested in giving up their farms to make room for a sparkling phone factory, and local officials see their control over land policies as a way to exercise their leverage. Bloomberg has one professor at a university in India arguing that the country continues to grapple with overcomplicated policies in areas such as labor law and taxes, while he thinks the country is moving in the right direction in terms of becoming a manufacturing center. He does say, any point in the last 30 years, I could have told you we were on the brink of cracking it. More news in a moment, but first a word from Simply Safe, the right way to protect your home and sponsor of today's show. Right now, Simply Safe is offering macOS Ken listeners a free indoor security camera plus 20% off your order with interactive monitoring. Now, one of the things that I've always liked about Simply Safe is how they let you build the system that's right for you. They're not sending you a bunch of stuff you don't need. But if you do need an indoor security camera, they're giving you one for free, plus 20% off the other stuff you need. Simply Safe systems are simple to set up. I had mine going in under an hour, and the interactive monitoring is great. Ready to send help the moment it's needed, Simply Safe's 24/7 professional monitoring keeps an eye out for trouble for under $1 a day. That is less than half the price of ADT's traditional, professionally installed system. Start the new year with increased security and peace of mind. Customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at simplysafe.com/macOSKen. Go today and claim a free indoor security camera plus 20% off your order with interactive monitoring. SIMPLI. That's simplysafe.com/macOSKen. There's no safe like Simply Safe. It is a Festivus miracle. Apple has revealed the secret of the latest AirTag updates. So often Apple updates the firmware for the tiny device trackers without saying what has changed or why. Now, a piece from 9 to 5 Mac says the Cupertino company has revealed what changed with AirTag firmware versions 2.0.24 and 2.0.36. 2.0.24 is the kind of thing you'd think they'd want to brag about. According to Apple's notes on the firmware, it enables precision finding to help locate an unknown AirTag detected moving with you. And if your iPhone is awake, a notification alert to you when an AirTag that's separated from its owner is traveling with you and emitting a sound to indicate it has been moved. So this one addresses a lot of the stalking fears tied to AirTag, but Apple chose to keep it quiet. As for 2.0.36, Apple's notes say it resolves an issue with the accelerometer not activating in certain scenarios. I either did not know the thing had an accelerometer or totally forgot about it. Still can't prompt an update, of course. 9 to 5 Mac says Apple says that the item tracker is automatically updated when it is in range of the iPhone. Another thing to keep in mind is that AirTag firmware updates are rolled out in phases, so not everyone gets them at the same time. Okay, that could explain the lack of timely notes. Maybe. News of a fine that Apple might fight, even though there is no part of the company that would feel the amount. I know, it's business. Apple Insider highlights a Reuters report that has the Paris Commercial Court issuing a fine against Apple over abusive App Store commercial clauses affecting French app developers. According to the piece, investigations by France's finance minister found significant imbalances in the relationship between developers who create apps and the companies operating app stores. Two things might keep Apple from appealing this ruling. One, the court saw no point in forcing Apple to change its ways since the EU's upcoming Digital Markets Act will change the rules for them. The other reason Apple might not fight the fine? It is tiny by Apple standards, coming in at $1.06 million. And yet, according to Apple Insider, an Apple spokesman said the company would review the ruling and believed in vibrant and competitive markets where innovation can flourish. And finally today, news of a new limited series for Apple TV+. The Cupertino streamer issued a press release Monday revealing the launch date of the 6-episode thriller Liaison. According to the release, Liaison is a high-stakes contemporary thriller exploring how the mistakes of our past have the potential to destroy our future, combining action with an unpredictable, multi-layered plot where espionage and political intrigue play out against a story of passionate and enduring love. The bilingual series marks the first for Apple TV+, told in French and English. Starring César Award winner Vincent Cassel of Black Swan and Westworld, and BAFTA Award winner Eva Green of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. The first episode of Liaison hits Apple TV+ on Friday, the 24th of February. They'll hit one per week each Friday after that, through the end of March. Today on the Mac Observer's Daily Observations podcast, if you're giving Apple devices this holiday season, there are some steps you might want to take ahead of time. TMO Managing Editor Jeff Butts fills us in. Plus, we talk over Wedbush analyst Daniel Ives' 2023 predictions and offer one or two of our own. That is all today on the Daily Observations podcast from the Mac Observer, online at macobserver.com or wherever you get podcasts. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by Rocket Money. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and save at rocketmoney.com/macOSKen. This show is also sponsored by SimpliSafe. Get a free indoor security camera plus 20% off your order with interactive monitoring at simplysafe.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media. Online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.